Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on February 24th, 2026. But don't fret if you find this reading much further down the road. There's a message here that your guides are trying to reveal today and hopefully put you on your next path or see where you are currently with your energy. And if you are some of my returning listeners, you are more than welcome to go ahead and get started with the reading, where the timestamp will be in the description box below. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. Welcome to Mystic Frequency. I love seeing my channel grow and seeing new people that are developing their own journey and, finding the best way to become the highest good versions of themselves. But I always like to kick this, the rest of my intro off by first saying, if today is something you are celebrating, or if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. Always here on this channel, I want to make sure you feel celebrated. And if it, like I said, if today is not your birthday, what is something you are celebrating right now? What is an achievement that you have accomplished? Or what is a milestone even that you have finally met and you feel really proud of yourself, even if that means you've kicked a bad habit out the door? That's something to celebrate. And now, leading into my disclaimers, always remember that I can only share personal experiences. I cannot give professional advice as much as I wish I could. And whatever is revealed today is just a source of information that you can take. You will always have other pieces that you may not be aware of that are not here today. So know your situation and what works for you, and never try to allow a reading to dictate only what you should be doing with your life. You have that wheel in your hands at all times, and your life is purely free. So choose what is best for you at all times. And if this reading starts to not resonate or click, first thing, don't try to force a reading to click or align to what you wish, or what you're wanting to go on in your life. There could be people around you that this reading is starting to sound like, and your guides are using you like a radio signal in order to channel this message to them. So I always encourage my listeners to share this reading if you believe it will help someone you care and love deeply about. And the other thing you can do with this reading is put it on a bookshelf. And if you ever do come across, this situation or what is being talked about today, then you can pull it off the shelf, reread it, re-listen to it even. If you want to keep this in a specific folder within your own YouTube channel, you are more than welcome to. And then you'll have what you need in order to be successful. You'll have that tool in order to finish that bookshelf or whatever you were working on in your life. But I'm going to go ahead and get started into this reading so that way I don't yammer too long forever. But let me go ahead and say this reading is a little different. It took a bit for me to kind of get jumped into this reading and, get started on it, because I'm currently working on a video for the month of March. And so it was really hard for me to really sit down and do this while I was working on other things at the same time. But I felt like this deck that I have specifically was calling me, and it's been catching my eye of recently. So this is part of the medicine animal tarot deck that I have. And I just kind of wanted to say, what is some healthy medicine that Spirit could give us today that would help the collective, maybe even help me? So I'm actually going to start off by reading what this animal medicine card is about. And I hope that y'all enjoy the reading. And then I'll dive into the tarot. Your medicine card for today is the bat. And look at the gorgeous imagery that this has. So the bat says, "Sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave, womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed, the journey of the soul." The bat talks about rebirth. Steeped in the mystery of Mesoamerica tribal ritual is a legend of Bat, akin to the ancient Buddhist belief in reincarnation in Central America. Bat is the symbol of rebirth. The bat has, for centuries, been a treasured medicine of the Aztec, Toltec, Tolkien, and Mayan peoples. Bat embraces the idea of shamanistic death. The ritual death of the healer is steeped in secrets and highly involved initiation rites. Shaman death is the symbolic death of the initiate to the old ways of life and personal identity. The initiation that brings the right to heal and to be called shaman is necessarily preceded by ritual death. Most of these rituals are brutally hard on the body, mind, and spirit. In light of today's standards, it can be very difficult to find a person who can take the abuse and come through it with their balance intact. The basic idea of ancient initiations was to break down all the former notions of self that were held by the shaman to be. This could entail brutal tests of physical strength and psychic ability, and having every emotional button pushed hard. Taunting and spitting on the initiate was common and taught him or her to endure the duress with humility and fortitude. The final initiation step was to be buried in the earth for one day and to be reborn without the former ego in the morning. This ritual is very similar to the Night of Fear practiced by natives of Turtle Island. In this ritual, the shaman-to-be is sent to a certain location to dig his or her grave and spend the night in the womb of Mother Earth totally alone, with the mouth of the grave covered by a blanket. Darkness and the sounds of animals prowling quickly confronts the initiate with his or her fears. As the darkness of the grave has its place in this ritual, so does the cave of Bat. Hanging upside down is a symbol for learning to transpose your former self into a newborn being. This is also the position that babies assume when they enter the world from the womb of woman. If Bat has appeared in your cards today, it symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of some way of life that no longer suits your growth or your new growth pattern. This can mean a time of letting go of old habits and of assuming the position in life that prepares you for rebirth, or in some cases, initiation. In every case, Bat signals rebirth of some part of yourself or the death of old patterns. If you resist your destiny, it can be a long, drawn out, or painful death. The universe is always asking you to grow and become your future. To do so, you must die the shaman's death. So, my collective listeners, the medicine that is being given today is one where you are burying something. You are burying something in order to bring something new into your life. So much like the death card, this does remind me of something is, it's time to move on from something. And I'm also thinking of the Tower for some reason. It's like when things are fading in your life, they're fading for a good reason. And now is a great time to go ahead and work through any kind of stressors that will benefit you greatly. It's doing the hard things first so the rest of your life can feel easy and, more smooth and less jagged. But I encourage you to take Bat today, and I really hope no one's going to dig a hole in their backyard and stay the night. but it's like, think about all of these spiritual awakenings that someone has to go through. Like, they really have to kill their ego and choose integrity first in order to, create a life that is worth living for a person, for yourself even. And the crystal card that is going to be helping with this energy is Citrine Spirit Quartz. Intentional self-awareness, discernment. A centered and empowered stone, Citrine Spirit Quartz asks that you take command over your life. By having clear intentions, you can begin to lead from a grounded and assertive place, giving you the results that complement your needs. Citrine Spirit Quartz enhances your sense of self-awareness, dissolving apprehension and self-doubt to clear the way for more confidence in your daily life, no matter what material things you may or may not possess. It is highly focused, an excellent stone for planning and goals. And this aligns with all signs. And I love that this came out because I've been using my Astro Dice, but I took a break so that way I can, focus on other different types of energies that are coming in. So looking towards sun energy and moon energy. So this is looking at divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy and finding ways to have them both in this lifetime so that way they may benefit you. You having one in each hand benefits you greatly, so that way you can control what you need to control and release or receive what you need to receive. But I'm excited for this rebirth that is going on. It takes a lot to harness this kind of energy because it can be really scary or unsettling for some that are having to let go of, their old shell, or they're shedding their skin because they realize that they can no longer use this skin. And the moonology that is with this bat is it's time to take action. Whatever goal you are trying to work towards or whatever you are trying to accomplish, now's the time to take action and not wait any longer. Your self-care during this time is manifestation is magical. Make it work in your favor. When the green light is lit, actually use it. Actually take advantage of this time, especially if you are in a period of rest, because this makes me think of someone that is resting and doing the mental work that is necessary in order to create healthy thought patterns where you believe you can manifest anything that you want and you have all the tools necessary, all the resources. This makes me think of the magician. I am feeling like heavy major arcana cards just with this bat alone. But bat, they have the way that they feel their environment is through their, they have echolocation and they are sensing what is out there and only going towards the things that bounce back to them that they want to receive. So think about how you can use your vocal cords or, using words of affirmation to really help you with this. So you can take whatever mold you are creating and hold it and not let it go. Your affirmation with the bat is I am beautiful. You're already beautiful. You are the standard, or not the standard. You are the definition of what a beautiful soul is. This transformation is not one where you will constantly have to change the way you look. This is a transformation where you embody this look. It is your soul is what is beautiful. And by recognizing how beautiful your soul is, you don't need to manifest outward appearances. And you will discover that, there are things in this life that will attract you more than usual the instant you let go of, that perception or that surface level, if you will. It's not judging a book by its cover. I know that's really cliche, but it's like you are really looking at what makes something truly wonderful, beautiful, desirable even. And it's like, and that is helping you attract what it is that you are meant to manifest in this life. So make it work in your favor. And your divine feminine oracle is, it's okay to validate yourself and not seek it from others. And the instant you start this process where you only do what is right for you, if something makes you feel good, let it make you feel good. You don't need to question it. You don't need, it's like whenever, this makes me think of a child and they're coloring a page that they are very proud of. And they go to take that page and say, what do you think of it? And it's like needing that constant reassurance that you're okay, you're doing all right. And, Spirit has your back. Spirit has been holding your hand this entire time and is always going to let you know how beautiful you are and how deserving you are of all the good things that there are in life. And you don't need to have any kind of other, energy to kind of like confirm that for you. You're already beautiful to Spirit, and you are deserving of this rebirth that is very rare and is only deserving of those that will do the work. And I'm going to go ahead and dive into your tarot for today. Now, I asked 3 questions that dealt with that. I wanted to know what is being reborn for you, what is leaving, or a red flag even, and what is being created from this energy. And we have the golden oyster mushroom, which is the sun, and it is upright. That is what is being reborn. And what is leaving is the 4 of Pentacles, the king oyster. And at first it was kind of confusing. I was like, why would this be leaving? That would, you would think you would want to be able to keep something, but I will get into this. And then what is being created from this energy. Now, do not fret when we do see the 7 of Pentacles. This is the amethyst deceiver, but this mushroom gives it a different meaning that I really enjoy. And then the 4 of Cups in reverse, and this is the white basket fungus, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it upright so you can continue to kind of look at the art. So let me go ahead and talk about the sun. What is being reborn? Well, abundance for one, prosperity, good fortune, luck. That is what this mushroom talks about. You're finding more joy and happiness in your life. You're seeing the positivity in the things that you are manifesting, which are making you feel even more beautiful and attractive and attracting so much good things in your life. And this sun coming in here, it's like because you are much more aware of where the light is touching, you can see beyond, those personal or not personal, those exteriors that everyone has. And it's letting you know the areas of your life that need more work, or they need a little bit more love, if you will. And this sun is like one thing that is being reborn is the constant need for rapid transformation when things need to transform. And it is renewing and decomposing things that are old or outdated for you. It's taking the energy that you had, that you thought was dead, that you were never going to have this come back into your life again. And this energy comes in and says, no, we just took this old energy and applied it to a new equation in your life. And look how much more energy you have now. This thing that you thought wasn't worth looking at or investing in is now actually worth investing in. And you are creating a lot more vitality and energy by reusing and repurposing things in your life. And in Chinese medicine, this was a mushroom that was used to boost immunity and body's vitality or vital energy. And you may be looking at different ways of, increasing your body's longevity. You're thinking about the long term here, where you are discovering things that work for you personally and using those things versus what other people have going on for them. It's like you have the right elixir that is meant for you to use, and everybody's coming up to you and they see this glow that is coming off of you, and they're like, well, what did you do that's different? You're walking around, we're starting to see you smile, and you have a lot of, we can see that you are being very successful. So what is the secret? And everybody's asking you, what is the secret? And they may even feel like you are, like the secret is, they're like, they can't believe that this is actually what you're doing. And it's like, you're telling them something really cliche, like, well, I'm telling myself I'm good enough and I'm not looking for others to tell that to me. And they're thinking that that's a lie, that you actually have this factory in your room and it has all of these ingredients for youth. You've got the youth fountain in your room, and everybody's like, can you just like tell us you have the youth fountain? And you're like, no, that's not what I have going on. I'm taking care of my inner child. I'm being more playful. I'm being more vibrant. I'm choosing things in my life that align to what makes me happy. And they just want to hear that you have the secret ingredient, that's what it is. Or they're, it's like these simple things that work for you don't work for everybody, and that is okay. And it's like they may even ask you like, so what did you do? And you're going to be like, I buried myself in the backyard. And then they're going to take that as, okay, that's what she actually did. She buried herself in the backyard and or went through some kind of, or you could even say I went through a shaman journey of the soul. And then they're like, okay, what is the secret ingredient? People are asking you, they don't believe what it is that you are saying. And it's like they're trying to, because the Four of Cups over here this mushroom creates a smell that attracts flies. So you may be attracting all of these people in your life that are trying to figure out, what are you doing that's right? And really what you are doing with this, what is leaving in your life, is you're no longer controlling things. Because the Four of Pentacles shows a man that has a coin in his hand and he's holding it so tightly. And you have discovered that by letting go of control, you are in more control. And once again, these people are like, what is the secret? Letting go. No, really, what is it? And it's just like, you've got people are getting frustrated with your success right now, I will say. And I love that. It's like, it's very comical even when people are coming in here and they're trying to look at, those old books that you would find on how to be successful for dummies. And in this case, it's like how to be just as successful as this sun creature right here, and it's not working. They're not absorbing what it is that they need to absorb. But your success was a code that was only meant for you, and what works for you is not going to work for them. And so the Four of Pentacles is the king oyster, and this oyster has the ability to live in harsh conditions. And what is leaving you is the thought in your mind that you have to constantly live in harsh conditions, that you have to, I'm taking a different message now, Spirit, because I didn't read this before I channeled this card. And this card is saying that you understand the importance of hard work. You understand the importance of, you're doing the work that needs to be done, and it's taking time, and you are trusting that everything has a divine timeline. And you understand that the more that you try to control the outcome, the more that the possibility of that outcome slips you by. And at first, when I was channeling this card, I was saying that you were going to be leaving harsh conditions. But I honestly say, like, you have a smile on your face when something is difficult, when something seems more chaotic or has the potential for you to weed out what is not good for others. And you are being the test subject almost. It's like you're opening your arms to Spirit and saying, okay, Spirit, I'm ready for my next test. What is something here that's going to help me be more resilient and, have more courage and, save more time in the long run. And so you're doing the hard work in this moment, but you are not trying to cling to, everything. It's like you are keeping your money in your hands, but you are not clinging to it in such a way that it prevents you from, letting it flow where it needs to flow in your life. You have that energy. It makes me think of the Six of Pentacles, where you are giving and receiving, and you understand that there is a balance here that needs to be met in order for, money to come into your life, or understanding, possessions or materials. And I think there's like a Buddhist saying that says the only thing you have to, or the things that you have to worry about losing are the things that you cling to in life. And that is what you're thinking about, is the more that I cling to something, and you understand, like you have seen that, things change, fires happen, people lose things, and but you also understand that whatever you lose today, you can always regain back again tomorrow. So having that positive mindset is very crucial here. And you were making safe investments. You're not taking risks, because not everything is as it seems, as the Seven of Swords talks about. All these opportunities, because the Four of Cups talks about opportunities or things that are passing you. You can smell a good transaction, if you will, and you know what is going to be more abundant for you and what will help you manifest even more. It's like these flies help this mushroom create more mushrooms that are like it, because it releases spores and then they carry it almost like a honeybee. But you also understand that by, people who try, it's like you can see yourself actually, using yourself as an example to really help others, but you have this doubt kind of like in the back of your mind that people won't believe what it is that you have done to be so successful. And you're worried that people are going to be calling you a liar, a deceiver of some kind, and that is going to create more, negative outcomes. But your guides here are trying to tell you that you have the ability to see, past those surface level, you can see past that. And there will be people who would benefit greatly from watching you and taking advantage of the sun, because the sun makes me think of someone that is in the spotlight, that is in the sun, and is carrying this energy of vitality with them. And the ground that you step on, things grow. And things that need to die where they should. And before I keep getting away from the Four of Pentacles, you may also find that you are leaving a standard of living that doesn't align any longer. It's like at one point you were struggling really hard to maintain, the things that you enjoy in life that at one point brought you a lot of happiness, and you are discovering that they no longer bring you happiness, or they cost more than they are worth. And by letting that go, you are creating more opportunities to come in here. And this Four of Cups in reverse makes me think that your energy, spirit is currently moving cups out of the way that are blocking you from noticing what is more fulfilling for you. And while you were going through this phase where they are doing that for you, you are resting. You are thinking about what is on your plate only, not what is on someone else's plate. And you are only taking things that help you develop this validation that you build for yourself. And you are gaining control, so much control. And I love that for you. Now, what is being created? Because I keep wanting to talk about the Seven of Swords and Four of Cups. So the Amethyst Deceiver, even though it is, some people tend to think that this is a toxic or psychedelic mushroom that you should ingest. It's actually edible. So there are things around you that at one point, it's like you couldn't believe it with your eyes. But the more you learned a little bit more about the situation, you understood that this was something that you could actually ingest. There was some truth to some of the it's like when someone says, hey, my grandmother's grandmother has this old a recipe that she uses and she's used in her entire family, and it's helped, you know, their family with their illnesses and whatnot, and you were like, no, that's not for me. And then science comes out and it's like, oh, okay, I guess there's some truth behind what your great grandmothers used to do for the long run, if you will. So there's something here that is worth ingesting, but you are trying to bring light to anything that could be a problem. You're looking at any kind of emotional baggage that you are trying to help release any kind of old mental patterns that are coming in. Now, this amethyst deceiver is associated with the third eye. So you're trying to trust your intuition, trust your gut when things are not all as they seem, as this mushroom talks about. And you were looking at illusions for what they are, smoke and mirrors, and trusting what needs to transform in your life. But here we are with this other, it's like I cannot get away from appearances. It's like the fleeting nature of appearances. So this can talk about the people that you are around. Are they, you know, they knock on your door, you open the door, they say who they are, what they do, and you take them in, and then the next day they are someone else, and then the next day they are someone else, and they are not the same consistent person that they are each day. Now, are they transforming for the right reasons, or do they, you know, put up a fake exterior just in order to get the things that they want in life? And you can smell that. You can smell when someone is full of themselves and not actually who they are. And the Four of Cups is the white basket fungus, and it, in some folklore, like Maori tradition, they think of this as being like ghost droppings or even the house of the devil, and they can bring they are the messenger of storms because they oftentimes appear when there has been a major storm that has come through. But what I love with the Seven of Swords is like you can tell if someone can handle something the instant a tower moment happens to them. Because whenever I hear thunderstorms, I think of lightning and, you know, people's foundations falling apart. And you were seeing how people build their life for themselves and how they may go through those constant transformations themselves. And you want something that is going to, you know, last in the long term, where you are not constantly overspending your resources from having to constantly move even, or even be able to know who is worth investing in, who actually means what they say. But you're being very strategic, I will say. So what is being created? You are creating strategy, and you are looking at any opportunity and seeing if there is a deadline that you need to choose something for yourself in this life. And if there is, you are making sure that whatever has the quickest or, you know, that deadline that comes up closer, you are working on that one first before it leaves you. But I am in love with this bat medicine card that's coming through, and I really hope that it assisted you today. And if you would like to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe so you can see more. And I hope y'all have a blessed day.